I'm always impressed when I come to Leeds and I see the South Stand. I've been to Australia, the fans are nowhere as good. It's probably been the best set of fans I've seen consistently in Rugby League. Now, how would you, JP, like to be remembered by the Leeds fans?
Just a bloke who'll give his all. I'm a local lad who grew up in Bramley. Used to go in the South Stand and watch, and the fans remember me as a bloke who just give absolutely everything, for the cause and for the shirt. And I always had pride in my performances within the shirt as well. And just going back to the fans as well, the Leeds fans are great because when you're behind in a game, they get behind you. A lot of fans go quiet when you go behind in a game, but not the Leeds fans. They get even noisier, and that lifts you up. And I think that's one of the key reasons why we've won and come from behind in big games and been able to win. Is just that noise and that energy that they give you.
I think you've actually got the best Leeds Rhinos song.
Yeah, but I can't. It's not one I can sing to my kids, innit? So my kids say, "Dad, have you got a song?" I go, "Yeah, but not till you're 16 or 18 can you sing that one."
You've had some highs and some lows in a Leeds shirt. Which defeat out of all of them hurt the most, and which win gave you the most satisfaction?
I think the defeats. There are a couple of the defeats. Are the ones against the obviously Melbourne and Manly. I think. You got
the Aussies.
Yeah. You said that, not me. Just because you go through all year, win the grand final to get to that game, and when you're at home, you should beat them. And apart from one game, Manly Ellen Road, we've had chances to win them, and we didn't nail those chances. And I've always thought the games that got away from us, so they're the ones that the most, to be honest. Yeah.
Do you think we're getting closer to the NRL or further away?
I think we are getting closer, really. I think some of the players we've got coming through, the backs are incredibly exciting, and the forwards are as well. It's just nailing that half-back position is going to be key for us. I think you can see by the amount of players that's gone to the NRL that are, and flourished down there that we are closer. It's just time for them to deliver now. I think this series against New Zealand is key for England. I think it's one they need to win, and then that'll give them a great springboard into the World Cup in 2 years after.
You're going to be walking out at Wembley for the last time as a player, but what makes it so special playing at Wembley?
I think for me it's a tradition. I grew up with Wembley. There was no grand final, so for me it's that tradition. I mean, I only dreamt of playing in a Wembley final as a kid. I thought the closest I'll get to the Challenge Cup was being able to touch it through the old metal fences, when they'd won it before, when the team did the lap of honour. So for me, every time I go out there, and I just feel that honour and tradition that comes with it, and it just 70,000 people, biggest stage, national stadium. What more boxes you need ticking?
Do you think it's a bigger competition than the grand final?
I think it's different. I think the Challenge Cup, you can win 3 games and get to the final, but it's got that tradition and that romance about it, and it's on the BBC to that wider audience, and it's better for the families. It's almost that big trip down to London, which probably 30 years ago was seen, as adventurous, someone from down up north going down to London. Whereas now, the world's a lot smaller, but the grand finals, it's just a brutal game that it's 11 months to get to the grand final, and if you win that, you spend autumn and most of winter as a champion before you get back and start playing again in February. So that's the benefits for that, and ultimately that's the one you aim for, because that's the mark of being consistent. You have to be consistent, but also have to play well in big games to win the grand final. Whereas in the Challenge Cup, you can just win big games and get there. So I think the grand final has that slight added edge as a professional.
Coming towards the end of your time at Leeds, you're going to be leaving behind some good mates, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Leroy, but wanting to describe one person in particular, Sir Kevin Sinfield. Can you describe him for us as a player and a bloke? Yeah,
I mean, as a player, he's incredibly tough. You've seen the times he's dusted himself up off the floor. He's very disciplined in what he does and very regimented and methodical. He's an exceptional reader of the game as well. I'd like to say he's quick, but he's not. That's the one thing he ain't got. I might even have him on that. And then as a bloke, he's a great bloke off the pitch. He's honest. He keeps himself to himself a bit, but I know when you get to know him, there's a great bloke in there, and he's got an incredibly dry sense of humour as well, wrapped under there. Great fella.
Kev, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, thank you.
Excited for next couple of weeks, well, next few weeks really, coming towards the end of your time as a Leeds Rhinos player. About 5 or 6 games left, I believe, if you win them all, including the New Zealand game as well.
Yeah, the next 2 months are really exciting. Over the last 6 to 8 weeks, I have to say, I've enjoyed the rugby as much as I've ever done, so excited by what's to come. starting with the cup final, and then we just got a great opportunity. I can't remember being in this scenario before where the 3 trophies up for grabs, and we'll give it our best shot, and who knows what will happen.
Do you kind of appreciate and enjoy the game more now as you're coming towards the end of your rugby league career? Obviously you've got a great union career ahead of you. Do you enjoy it more now?
I don't know about enjoy it more. I think you find different reasons to enjoy it. I want to play as well as I can for this next 2 months, because that is obviously important to me. But I think I want to leave some good lasting impressions on people. I want people to look back and think he was all right. He did a good job. And some of the opposition I've played against recently, and I will face over the coming weeks, I want them to face the best of me, and I want that last impression to be an important one, and one where they think highly of me and how I've played, and as you know, Sim, I've really enjoyed my time here. It's been the best time ever. The club's brilliant. It'd be nice if this next 2 months go to plan.
What has Leeds as a city given to Kev Sinfield?
It's given me a career. It's gave me a job. But to take you right back, I signed at the club as a 13-year-old, and the reason why Leeds over I suppose other clubs was, at that time, Dougie Lawton's coach, and there was a handful of young boys in the team, and all I wanted to be assured of was that if I was good enough at 17, 18, I'd get a shot in the first team, and thankfully I played at 16. But that was the reason I came here. The city has changed so much in the last 20 years. The people of Leeds have been so welcoming and so kind, so generous to myself and my family, and I've said it on a number of times that Oldham is my town, but Leeds is certainly my city, and I'm very proud that Leeds is my rugby home, and always will be.
What legacy would you like to leave with the next generation? Ashton Gouldoons, all these players coming through, Jordan Lillies. What are you going to leave them with? What kind of impression are you going to leave them, the boys?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably quite difficult to answer, but I feel the club is in a far better shape than when I joined, and I want that to continue. The club now has had a history over the last 10 years of winning trophies and competing for big trophies, and that's where we need to be as a group and as a squad going forward. But I think probably more importantly, the culture that we've been able to create in this last 20 years, but probably the last 10 in particular, of the attitude you need to have to become a player at this club, the dedication, the commitment, the sacrifices you have to make to play at this club, are probably the thing that I'd like to be remembered for. And I'm not responsible for that. I'm among 10, 20, maybe 30 other players who've played a part in that, but I'd like to think that some of the really small things that people take for granted, coming in and training hard every day, looking after yourself on a weekend after a game, the little things, getting enough sleep, making sacrifices, working as hard as you can at your game. I'd like to think those little things are what your Ashton Gouldoons and your next batch grab hold of and continue with.